Good morning, everybody. Buongiorno a tutti. Dear participants, it's really a true pleasure to open this seminar organized by the EPD in Italy and Norway. And I was really happy to accept the invitation that came in from my old friend Håkon Hauan. We used to work together in Madrid with Norwegian business promotion when I was ambassador there. And but I was really happy to accept this invitation to participate today, because indeed for our embassy, the green transition and the decarbonization of society and actually the need for good certification processes are a very high priority for the embassy here in Italy and also for my government. Because in the light of the global climate crisis we are facing, there is an evident need to strengthen the collaboration and common efforts towards a green energy transition and the transition in other areas of society as well. And I can tell you that Italian and Norwegian researchers and companies have already an extensive collaborative experience from finding and developing solutions that will be essential for us and for future generations. And we are very honored because next week President Mattarella will visit Norway on a state visit, and we are actually organizing a seminar during his visit that will focus on these issues, but particularly in the energy sector, but also in the green maritime sector. So unfortunately not infrastructure this time, but it shows that we have sort of a common agenda in these areas. And I mean, you may know that Norway is mostly known maybe for being the European Union's largest provider of natural gas. And especially this happened now, especially after the brutal attack of Russia on Ukraine. And when the Russian gas disappeared, Norway stepped in, increasing its production and thus also helping to solve the energy security problem in Europe after the invasion. However, we are very aware in Norway that natural gas within a few years will have to be replaced by other energy vectors. And Norway has, for this reason, been working very hard with finding other solutions. And actually we have been working with carbon capture and storage for more than 25 years in Norway to reduce the footprint of our gas industry. And this experience, we think, is very relevant and important also for the rest of Europe, because actually our continental shelf has the capacity to store 75 years of the combined emissions of all the EU countries of CO2. So actually we recently entered into a green alliance that was signed on April 24 with the European Union, where these and other technologies are highlighted. The hardest part, of course, is to capture the carbon and establish a European-wide value chain for a low-carbon economy. And in Norway, we are currently constructing pilot CCS plants for carbon capture and storage. For instance, one with the Heidelberg cement factory south of Oslo, as well with a very big waste-to-energy plant in Oslo, a termovalorizzatore. I know this is a hot topic in Italy, but it will be one of the first pilots in Europe to use this technology for waste-to-energy plants. And we believe also that CCS will be fundamental also for the future of Italian industry, and we are actually taking delegations to Norway, both of specialists, industry and politicians, to learn more about this experience. We also wish to work very closely with Italy when it comes to green maritime. Fun fact here is actually that there are two nations in Europe that have a lot of ferries. It's Norway and Italy. And in Norway we are experimenting a lot now with electrical ferries and also hydrogen ferries. And 40% of the world's electric ferries are today in operation in Norway. So it's advancing. So all these areas, and here we are working closely together with Italy because, for instance, Fincantieri is the owner of a big Norwegian shipyard called Vard, and they're working together developing these kind of technologies. But decarbonization is not only about energy and green maritime, it also involves a number of different sectors. And just recently I visited an important event in Milano with the food sector, because DNV, Norske Veritas, have established a research center in Milano on how to certify, how do you call it, you certify, the value chain of food products, and including also the carbon footprint. So they recently, if you're interested, released a report on this issue, on how this can be done in the food sector. So it's very, very convenient that Håkon decided to put this seminar on infrastructure here in Rome, because it fits perfectly with the rest of our agenda at the embassy. And I must say, especially at a time where Italy will be investing heavily in infrastructure, notably in the context of the next generation PNRR plan. And I can also tell you that Italian companies like WeBuild are having very big projects in Norway. They're involved in a €2 billion project to build roads on the west coast of Norway. So obviously all these technologies will be very important in that context as well. And I think, Lorenzo, in your introduction, you stressed very strongly the need for the making certification systems so that these markets can function. And I think this is really the key point here, because both customers, shareholders, it's not only governments, will all start putting more and more emphasis on the carbon footprint you are leaving behind, and proving that you are doing something to solve the problem and help in the green transition will be more and more important. So I wish you really luck with today's seminar. I think it will be very important and a very constructive opportunity to put on the table concrete solutions. So thank you so much, and I wish you good luck with today's seminar. Thank you.
Thank you.